Hello and welcome to Before You Buy. This week's kit comes to us from AMT ERTL, 57 Bel Air Street Machine. No mention of Chevrolet, but I think everybody recognizes a 57 Chevy when they see one. On the cover, we have a photo of actual model, very nicely done. Same with our end cards, gives us our kit number of 8319. Around to the outside, we got the back end shot and some features. All new highly detailed tooling. Couple asterisks there with that, and we'll get more into that. Opening trunk with spare tire. That's the only mention of it. There is no photos. And vinyl covered spark plug wires inside. Again, same cover art. And on the back, we got a photo of the car, our wheel edges and tires, and there's that engine bay with the spark plug wires included. So I find it very surprising that they do call this a scale level 2 with the plug wires, and I do believe there's foil inside as well as the 150 plus part count. There's only one option to build this, so you will be using those 150 plus parts inside. So again, surprised that it's scale level 2 and not a 3, but I suppose some of that is optional with the wires and foil. This Before You Buy will count for 2 versions of this kit. This one being the 2001 Racing Champions ERTL. It says 57 Bel Air Street Machine. There's a cover, standard size box. And the other kit that it will count towards is the 1998 version. See if I can get that date there for you. 1998. Virtually the same box, just a lot bigger. The original was a larger box. See if we can get some comparison here. A little awkward with that big box, but there's kind of one dimension and another kind of angle there. This is a much bigger box in 1998, and again, no Street Machine, but it does say it here on the side. Kind of, again, the same, but different, so it's surprising that they do mention new tooling, even though this is kind of the second run of the kit. Again, 98 to 2001 here. But let's get inside. Box has been opened. I have no idea how they package these kits. I understand why they use the larger boxes, but as you can see, that's a pretty full box. I don't even have the body inside, so I have no idea how they originally packed these. It is very tight inside these smaller boxes, but there's our glass, tires and reds. There's our opaque parts. We have Chrome Tree, Bel Air Street Machine instructions, and we do have some decals. Let me get things unbagged and we'll take a closer look at everything. Okay, getting inside, I'll give you a quick look under the lid of that big box, show you how spacious it is. This one's been kind of repackaged, even got some bubble wrap on there, and there's still plenty of room for parts, just to show you that kind of box size difference. And one interesting thing, going to that small box, there is one large tree from that tooling that kind of makes everything cramped up in there. There you can see kind of a standard size tree. And it really makes everything packed and very tightly fit in there. Even causes some bowing and warping. Again, this is a very standard tree. Here's one from a Mobius kit. Just a very traditional size box. And they have one large tree for whatever reason in that ERTL tooling. But just something to note. Again, we are kind of showing the 98 and 2001 release. They're all identical as far as I've seen, except for one thing, and that is the decals. They are the same, but different. One on my right is 2001. On my left is 1998. And we'll kind of take a look at what those differences are. Kind of the same license plate, but they get a rescaling or resizing there in the later one. Moving on to number 6, the same kind of under trunk jack instructions. I do believe they are. They look very similar. Then moving on to number 7, that goes under the hood. Must be some specs or information. Looks like it's a very proper detailed sheet, or it's just kind of very generic here on the 2001. Moving along to number 3 there. Again, the 2001 caution label becomes very generic versus kind of the proper writing on the original. Just some other labels there, and our emblems, and then our scroll work. You can see some white there behind the 98 release, and I do not see any white behind the later release scroll work. So just something to note, they are the same but different. And moving on from that, we can start looking at the kit itself. And we'll start with a quick flip through the instructions. I have used these instructions for some inventorying, so there's some marks, but I'll give you a good idea. Here are some suggested color callouts and some notes and points of interest key. And down here we have a before you begin. This is a custom version. And that's the only way to build it is as a custom. There is no stock option. Paint colors shown for reference are OEM. You may choose your own custom paint scheme. Moving in, very large instructions and blowout of that engine. Again, aftermarket style setup. I would consider this kit to be like a resto mod or kind of a pro touring style setup. Here you can see kind of our chassis going to our floor pan. Kind of note that custom floor pan. You will see all these parts in better detail as we go. Just kind of showing you all of the stuff. So there's a lot of parts, 150 plus to go. There's firewall. There is our wheels and tires. Making a note, these tires are directional, so make sure everything's going the right way. Lots of engine detail to be added under the hood, as well as our front end. Lots of parts to go together. Make a great looking kit. There's a shot of our trunk open. And then back to the beginning. Let's get into the parts. First up is kind of the optional extra detail parts. Here is our wire. It's a very nice size wire for spark plug wires. Funny thing is they do show yellow on the box art, but I've only seen black offered in these kits. So let me know if you've ever gotten a kit with yellow wiring, but otherwise I've only seen black provided. As well as we do get some kind of foil, self-adhesive foil, similar to a bare metal foil for doing some of your chrome work. Moving on from there, we can talk about those tires. We get kind of a big and little. You can see these are kind of the front ones. Again, they are a directional tire, and they do have some very nice Goodyear Eagle GSC, again showing rotation and tire size and all that. Very nicely detailed tires. You look at the rears. Again, I'll have photos of all these parts at the end. If you'd like to see them paused or zoomed in, feel free. Again, only option is those aftermarket tires. Go into glass. We get our small reds for the tail lights. And then we get, again, there you can see kind of the effects of everything getting crammed into the box. A little distorted, but it looks like everything will be fine. Get very modern kind of pin locations for our glass to get them in the proper location. We've got side windows, headlights, and some small turn signals there. You know, look at our chrome. We got front bumper, rear bumper, kind of our tail fin chrome parts, a hood lip, our center for our grill. Over here we got the gun sights or bullets for the hood. And we got some door handles, inside mirror, outside mirror, headlight buckets, antenna, wipers, and our V for our hood and our trunk. Moving over here, we got a nice set of aftermarket wheels, set of chrome valve covers, and a two-piece air cleaner there. Very nice chrome tree. Moving on, here is a very nice looking body. I can bring up that other asterisk that I talked about on the box as far as the all new tooling. The body and interior parts are not new tooled. They were originally seen in 1997 in an all stock form and body kit. There was a 98 kind of sister release to the kit, 57 Chevy Bel Air, kind of an all stock version. So some of this is actual brand new to the Street Machine, and some of it is kind of brought over from that stock version. But let's take a look at the parts. Great looking 57 Chevy body, that side trim, Bel Air script. Again, we get that opening trunk, even has the rain channel there for us. I'll look at the other side. Great looking body. Nice to have the open hood, open trunk. Let you guys detail it out. And moving into the parts trees, there's our hood. Does have the Chevrolet script on the front. We do have some decals to go with it. Some hood hinges. We got some steering and suspension components. Some miscellaneous components. There's some trunk hinges. There is our trunk lid, again with the Chevrolet script and V there. I believe these are part of our heater box. Front suspension, a very modern looking front suspension and A-arms. Some steering components, horns, battery, some heater ducts. Next tree up, I'll start down here. That engine, we have a big block Chevy and an automatic transmission. Again, modern transmission. Oil pan, very good looking set of heads, even has some rocker detail. Aftermarket intake, some big block manifolds, belt and pulleys. Along we got some, there's our distributor, kind of already pre-holed for our wires. There's our nice 4-barrel carburetor, alternator, starter, water pump, timing cover. There is our grill mesh, radiator, hood bracket, might be hood release or something there. A couple of bullets for the front bumper, steering column, fan. There is our dash, very nice detail. Bel Air dash, has multi-pedals even though it's an automatic. There is our well-detailed firewall and radiator support. A few more engine detail is all over. Hoses, coolant and heater hoses there. Very nice to have all of those offered in the kit. We have our interior, very stock trim, even has the stock pattern, seat pattern. And there's our rear seat with package tray. There's our front seat, again very well iconic 57 Chevy pattern. Sides of our seats, back of our seats, these must be like license plate inserts. Some inner fender wells, some wheel backs. Again, we're going to start seeing some of our street machine parts. Starting off with a really nice fuel cell. We got the front half of a narrowed rear end, very beefy aftermarket steering wheel. We got disc brakes with calipers, drive shaft. We got some spindles there, brake booster and master cylinder. Exhaust with exhaust tips, kind of semi-opened at the end. Here's the other half of that aftermarket rear end. Some suspension links there, coil springs. There's some coilovers, big exhaust, aftermarket mufflers. Some more of our 4-link setup. So as you can see, it is built to be a kind of street machine. Wouldn't call it pro street, but I'd call it more pro touring or a resto mod. And here is our floor pan with those mini tubs and great looking Chevy bow tie into the sheet metal appearance. Again, I wouldn't call them a full tub, but a very nice tub. Definitely get some nice tires under it. It does have some carpet texture and floor mats molded in. And here's a look at that kind of custom frame that has been back halved. It does have that raised and narrowed rear end portion to accommodate that narrowed and 4-link. And that will wrap it up for our kit. I will do a comparison between the stock and street machine. I'll look for that video in my before you buy playlist. But again, that'll wrap it up for the 57 Chevy Bel Air street machine. Photos to follow this, and thanks for watching.